I guess this is another episode of Three Old Tired Dudes. I mean, old tech dudes.
Are we starting this?
I don't know.
Okay.
He audio synced with the big hand clap. Scared me. I don't even know what this video is about.
So I thought about we do tech news of the week.
Oh,
Some of it's kind of
I
terrifying.
read the tech. I guess you'll read it to
I
me.
read a lot of it.
Okay, you read it to me, and I'll make snide comments. It'll be great.
So I picked out a couple this week that I thought were rather interesting. One of them, of course, is on everyone's favorite subject, politics. To where, like, so one of the candidates for the Democratic ticket, or Democratic National Committee ticket, whatever, trying to become next president is Elizabeth Warren.
Okay.
I don't know much about her, but I don't keep up in politics that much. But the thing that she's now promising is your pattern in so she's now promising to bring the masses. Where did they actually put it? To bring the masses fiber to your house, out in the sticks and everything else.
I'm getting that.
But I thought Elon Musk was bringing that to us with many, many little satellites.
Probably.
He is.
I'm getting fiber straight to my house so she can stick it.
So she won't, but she wants to spend $85 billion.
Of course she does. It's
The funny thing is,
no,
this is
politics will probably get a famous channel, but I'll hate every minute of it.
yeah. But the thing I find funny about this is, it's been done twice now already. So this will be time 3.
Oh yeah, there was I remember the Obama initiative.
Well, there was the Obama initiative, and then back there was a initiative during Bill Clinton, and neither one of them did anything except on a few smaller phone companies did actually spend the money to upgrade. But like AT&T just took the money.
No, surely not.
Yeah.
We're not upgrading you to DSL anytime soon at that switch. That was our mantra for ages.
Oh, it's so. But I just find it funny that she's now wanting to spend, or one of her biggest pledges is to spend $85 billion and to bring broadband to the 26% of rural Americans who are still left at that high speed.
She's hoping Farmer Joe will say, I can't get anything but dial-up, and I got to use a cell repeater to he won't know what that is. The thing that makes his cell phone signal stronger.
Yeah.
And she's trying to get his vote.
Probably.
Well, that's how it works.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll promise anything. Let's go to the moon if people vote for
Well,
going to the
that's
moon.
kind of the same with any political promise.
Yeah. Next story.
Man.
Okay.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah. So 2015 it was done. It actually, this article is from, get out of the way, I can read it. Thank you. What was that? 10? 10, whatever it is. Anyway.
Yeah, okay.
Medium.com.
Yeah,
10medium.com. Anyway, so this was like, there were several articles, and this one just came across this week, and I was like, okay, they're going to try and do that again. They're going to spend a lot of money, which not shocking because the government loves to spend money. Don't we know? And the other one I actually think was probably the scariest part of this last week is even more ransomware attacks.
Yay.
And now they've hit schools, they've hit, and this was today in an article by Krebs on Security, that they hit INSYNC, INSYN, I wasn't that good, INSYNQ. Okay, those are the people that host QuickBooks.
Spectacular.
Whoopsie. So ransomware has just skyrocketed here in the last couple of years, and you can kind of see why when you start seeing, like, there's an article, I don't have it up here right now, but there's an article that came out this last week that talked about the amount of money that they have gotten from ransomware attacks is, it's like 80 or 90 billion, something like that.
A lot of people feel like they have no choice to pay, and only part of the time do they actually get their files unencrypted.
I was going to say,
when they do that.
anyone ever known anyone who's paid
I've heard
ransomware.
of
And
I thought some police department in
Yeah.
Indiana at some point did that.
how did that go for them? Did it work
As
out?
far as I
Like,
know,
did
it
they
did
get their
that
data?
time. Yes.
I haven't heard on any of those yet, but I do know that Florida had cities attacked.
You know, if you have backups, you can tell them to stick it.
True. I think what happened here, like this one was talking about, that it actually lived on the machine for days or weeks. They're not even sure exactly, according to this, anyway. But it searched their network for backups and then infected the backups.
Oh,
and that's the one that
nice.
hit Louisiana
That's
recently.
dirty.
Should have cold storage, by golly.
Oh my gosh. So Louisiana school district was hit
Anything like a
last
cut?
week. Yeah, no doubt.
You know, another aspect to it could also be, so there is the typical, we have your data, if you want it back, send us money. But how about, you know, if you're like QuickBooks or something, we have your data and we will release it unless we get money.
Oh yeah, I'm surprised that hasn't happened yet.
I just gave, you know, all sorts of hacking
Great.
idea. Can I at least get a virus named after me? An attack or something?
Oh
Yeah,
man!
the 3OTD virus.
Stop it!
We
You
are
guys
a
gonna get
virus.
us in trouble.
We are a virus.
That's okay. That's valid.
Yeah, we're in insanity waiting to happen. I'm trying to find when that happened in Louisiana, but I saw it in this last week. But they had so the governor. I thought this is funny. So the governor of Louisiana apparently issued a proclamation of emergency status or whatever, like you would in a disaster. Because of the ransomware attack, so they could use military forces. I'm like,
That's
The first thing I thought of, he issued a proclamation against ransomware viruses in Louisiana.
but yeah,
Be banished!
yeah, no doubt.
Well, you know,
That's what I-
another
Down there in their parishes, they don't. You know,
another
instead of
problem
counties.
with this is that places like this, I mean, a municipal has no idea how to deal with this. I mean, not a mayor or a governor, or they're not going to have.
All they
Yeah, I
need
mean,
to know
it's
is how
gonna
to
have-
open Excel, man.
Yeah, it'll have to be, the situation itself will need to be explained to them, let alone combating it.
Oh yeah. The
Golly.
but I'm just amazed because I'm sitting there. I read that they were going to do that, and I'm like, how? So the military has no understanding of how this stuff works. I'm sorry, they really don't. NSA maybe military. I mean, you know, well, I guess you could say maybe something like the military science sides of everything. Was it that do research and stuff? Might, but like your standard military, you're bringing out military to what? The attack probably started in like Iran, or you know, Iraq, or somewhere, you know, China or whatever, North Korea.
Death to America!
You know, and
Easy there.
you know, you can't.
I'm here to have some fun, boys.
Yeah, you can't.
Sorry, Nathan.
And now you said that, now we're on a list of some fashion.
Well, you guys already
Somewhere
said the
in a dark
military didn't
room.
know what they're doing. So.
Well, not. I mean, the military's job is to defend the country, and they do it with. I'm sorry, it's the reality. They do it with guns, tanks, bombs,
That's true.
and stuff like that. How are they going to decrypt files?
I'm sure there's a cyber warfare division that we don't know about somewhere.
Well, there is actually a cyber warfare division. I mean, they even tell you about that, but it's still kind of one of those things. This thing is so effective that if it actually infects your backups and it's gone, I mean, you can't.
You just can't magically unencrypt something.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
not
It's
how
like
that
you
works.
just hope you don't, have to deal
You
with
have
it.
to have
but
the
honestly,
key that it was encrypted with.
Yeah, to which, I mean, I guess you could decrypt it. You could, if you had enough, like GPU, ability. Kind of like if you're trying to, like.
You gonna strong arm it?
Yeah, goodness,
Well,
that might take
yeah.
a while.
Well,
But it's a valid
but
point.
if
yeah.
you're talking like in the military,
Yeah, it is possible.
Yeah. So if let's say the NSA has, I mean, just theorizing here, but so let's say the NSA has a server room that has 50,000 servers in it, and each one has maybe like a 200 GPU card, so it's able to do serious processing. Yeah, they could probably hack that in a reasonable amount of time. Especially if you're talking something that's not a critical. If you don't have it today, the world ends. It's a school, they can survive for a couple days without files.
Sure.
But that's a huge amount of resources to put onto a school system then. For a school system, rather. So we're going to use how many billions of dollars to recover
I'm pretty sure they'd tell them to go fly kite.
You probably would too, but apparently their governor or whatever down there had created or called it a disaster or whatever, so you declared a disaster, so you do that. But I'm just sitting there thinking, how is that really going to work? I mean, I guess maybe it could, but I just the amount of money required. But that's the one thing that's like, so these things usually start with a phishing attack. So, you get that one email that says, hey, you've won the Nigerian National Lottery, or more likely.
I just won that.
Yeah, I know. Isn't it cruel? I mean, it's just,
What a funky dink.
Yeah.
You found that in your mozzarella Foxfire too.
I did.
Yeah.
Actually, I bet
Using the Gmail.
if you click the link in that, I bet you it would say, "Nah, I don't think you want to do that."
Yeah. Well, so a lot of them, but they'll come in here, like you get stuff like, if someone does the research, they'll find someone they'll know or get some information enough on to be able to send an email to them.
Yeah.
It looks like a legitimate email, so then they open it up and problems happen.
That's why
That's why.
companies used to not really put much emphasis on this, but protecting like your contacts, like your global address list.
Oh, yeah,
For
yeah.
instance, I mean, for the longest time, it's like, well, who cares? It's just our internal names and phone numbers, but within that data contains enough to make it a spoofed email look like it's from a legitimate source.
And those happen. And the nice thing is at work we've been looking at getting a new antivirus, which I've told you that before. All right, so we're looking at a few different ones, and one of them is Sophos, and we also looked at Norton, and all the usual thousands of them out there.
Sorry.
It's kind of how I feel when I hear the word Norton.
Yeah,
That's what we use, but
well, and I'm kind of leaning towards Sophos Sophos.
Creepy Peter Norton on the box.
Because
Oh, it's bothered me.
well, the neat thing is the
he's there to protect you. Trust him.
Like creepy old uncle.
that's sad. Really true though. Anyway, but the one thing that they took a machine, put it on there, and then tried to hit it with those things. And some of these guys out there are testing the software, which is great to have, because these guys are sitting there trying to infect the machine, and they couldn't infect it.
Very good. That's
So
cool.
that's nice that some of the software exists, and especially since they're not looking for the specific attack, they're looking for anything that kind of looks like an attack, and then infecting it.
Right.
So they're it's more of an intuitive engine, which is nice. The fact that stuff's working. The problem is if you're not on anything like that, or you are like some of these schools, they use like the worst software known because they don't have money to buy.
What was that
it.
one that was free that everybody used in like the
AVG.
mid AVG? Yeah,
Everybody went with that for a while.
Yeah,
it's free.
It's free. I mean, and I can't say it didn't work, but it was one of those.
It was very heavy.
As a programmer, I'm not gonna lie, I've never understood free software. There's too much effort that goes in. I just couldn't. I couldn't write something or be a part of that and then say, "Here, take it." No,
It's because you're selfish, man.
a little bit.
well, but there's. I mean, yeah. I guess it depends on what it is, but it's one of those things that, from the standpoint of the reason I think we're going to see more of these attacks is because for the price and amount of time you have to put into it, they pay off big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Stunningly big. I think you might actually start seeing fewer and fewer of the attacks that try and hack into a system to get personal information because you can do that, but if you're lucky you might see a return on your investment. But honestly, these crypto attacks, I mean, people are turning, they're probably spending $1,000 in total time and everything else, and they're getting $500,000 back.
Yeah.
Off one attack. Right. I mean, monetarily it makes sense, which is bad, of course, for everyone else, but but it still makes sense as to why those have become a thing and why they've just skyrocketed, it seemed, here recently. I mean, you see it in the news almost every day.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, from the standpoint of a business, you've got to be maintaining everything and isolating your backups, because some of this, like that one that hit this that Louisiana school system, they think it might have been on there for months.
Sure.
And it literally was like scanning the whole network,
Right.
and once it finally figured out how to get everywhere, then it attacked. So that's, in a way, that's terrifying. I mean, they're putting enough AI logic into these things that they're really they're like, let this thing loose on a network. It finds everything. It reports back, hey, I have it all. I have absolutely everything there is to have. Hit the button, the whole system's locked. And that's kind of what happened in a way to Inuit, or to well, it is Inuit, but
I guess so, yeah.
Intuit
Whoever
with the
posts their stuff, yeah.
yeah. So they've got because it hit their hosting service. So it hit all the stuff that's hosted. So it took down everyone's QuickBooks.
Right.
Or at least a lot of them. I don't think it took down everyone's. But I was surprised I didn't hear from a friend of mine, honestly, going, my QuickBooks is dead.
Was it like something that affected user level?
Oh, yeah. They said people couldn't get into it anymore. They couldn't get into their files. So,
that could be bad. I mean, there are people that run their entire businesses and
Lots
livelihoods
of people.
on
oh, yeah.
QuickBooks.
Click on it again there. Yeah, so like whole businesses run on this stuff.
Yeah. They have a POS system and everything that's
Oh, yeah.
all there. And
So I mean, you could potentially lose a huge amount of like money and everything else with that. But then I think what's happening is that's going to either the cloud hosting solutions are going to have to become a whole lot harder, like hardened harder, and prove it. Or I think you might actually start to see people going, why do I want the cloud? Last time I was in the cloud, it was supposed to be safer. Everything got destroyed.
That is the greatest marketing thing that has ever happened in the IT world.
It really kind of is.
I think it's ridiculous. Yeah,
cloud-based. It's in the cloud.
I'm like 100% the opposite of everyone. Yes, it's cloud. Web 2.0, the cloud. They could have technically done this 20 years ago.
Come to the
It's
cloud.
the same internet.
Come to the cloud. You'll love it here.
Put all your servers up. You don't have to manage them. You just pay a slow subscription per user.
we all float up here.
Now, it's gimmicky, man. It's a good
It is really
gimmicky.
Now, from a
Means you have to learn to take care of your own stuff.
from a service
Yeah.
provider standpoint, though, they're kind of in a hard spot
I'm sassy
because
today.
users will only tolerate so much security too, and
Oh, yeah.
usually that's where these hacks get you. They're not hacking firewalls or something. Well, in a lot of cases, they're
No.
social engineering, and
Oh, yeah. And it's
companies can try to skirt that, but users will only put up with so much inconvenience before they go to somewhere else. So it's kind of a hard battle to fight, honestly.
Yeah, it's, and I've had discussions at work with people about that. I'm like, if you don't know, if you're not 100% where that email, sure where that email came from, call me. I will go over to your office and we'll look at it, because I would rather look at it and go, no, it's fine, and spend the time walking over there than have to spend the
Where
next
I'm at,
6 months doing everything. Yeah.
It's in the culture for them to forward that they need an email looked at to our help desk. And,
Yeah.
and we look at it. So
We have an actual tool for that will like take the email, make an attachment, send it off automatically. All they have to do is click this little button.
Okay.
It's
that's cool.
Nice.
it's a built-in thing. It goes into the Outlook ribbon.
Sure.
Nice. Yeah, and it's one of those things, I think, if cloud is going to continue to survive,
Oh, I think it will.
ultimately.
No, it's not going
I mean,
away.
it's going to have to. But, yeah, because so many people do so much with it at this point. But it's one of those things, if they
It is
can't
cheaper.
prove it-
I mean, because
It can be, yeah.
Yeah,
It
because
can be,
you have. I mean, it's cheaper to do, like to be a provider.
It has
than-
different risks.
It
for
does
the
have
end
different
user
risks.
than doing it themselves.
It does.
Whereas they have to maintain their own hardware, and we've all heard stories where I went and
The
helped
phone
one,
system fails.
I went and helped one local business. They were running the same software for a process they'd used since 1997, and they were still running Office 2000. And this was like last year or the year before. So why buy new? It works. They were running modern computers, and
Yeah.
somehow managed to keep all this working on the modern OSs. But
You know, another thing that an advantage of cloud-based services is you don't rely on one person. So from a business standpoint, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm kind of like that at where I work. I know our phone system inside and out. I learned just here recently I can rebuild it. Another story. But our access control is the same way. I know the system, I know the software, and even the vendors that sell it to you will fully admit, yeah, you know this better than us, this particular system and this setup and how it's tweaked for your environment.
Yeah.
And you run into that a lot with non-cloud-based services. And then, like, if I were to leave or, be a vindictive person, and you could have the potential of an employee causing your business great harm.
So I'm sitting there looking at this board. I'm like, well, it looks like this capacitor and this capacitor are just fried. I'm like, what did this board come out of? They're like, the sewage processing.
No.